Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to run through all 100 questions for the U.S. citizenship test. We've mixed them all up to provide a little challenge. These are the 100 official civics questions from USCIS. You will be asked 10 randomly chosen questions. You must get 6 of those 10 correct in order to pass. I will read all the answers for each question. However, unless a question asks for more than one answer, you only need to provide one answer to the question. All right, let's get started. Who is the father of our country? Who is the father of our country? George Washington. Washington. Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? American Indians, Native Americans. What is the capital of your state? What is the capital of your state? For this one, answers will vary. And the D.C. District of Columbia residents should answer that D.C. is not a state and does not have a capital. And residents of U.S. territories should name the capital of the territory. Who does a U.S. Senator represent? Who does a U.S. Senator represent? All the people of the state. All the people of the state. What are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? What are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? The Senate and House. The Senate and House of Representatives. You don't have to say of representatives. You can just say Senate and House. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? Give up loyalty to other countries. Defend the Constitution and laws of the United States. Obey the laws of the United States. Serve in the U.S. military. Serve the nation. Be loyal to the United States. What is the rule of law? What is the rule of law? Everyone must follow the law. Leaders must obey the law. Government must obey the law. No one is above the law. What happened at the Constitutional Convention? What happened at the Constitutional Convention? The Constitution was written. The Founding Fathers wrote the Constitution. What does the judicial branch do? What does the judicial branch do? Reviews laws, explains laws, resolves disputes, decides if a law goes against the Constitution. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. World War I. World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Persian or Gulf War. Name one state that borders Mexico. Name one state that borders Mexico. California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. Madison, Hamilton, Jay, and Publius. James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and Publius. You don't need to know the first names. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? What movement tried to end racial discrimination? Civil rights. The Civil Rights Movement. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? Freed the slaves, saved the Union, led the United States during the Civil War. When do we celebrate Independence Day? When do we celebrate Independence Day? July 4th. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words? The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words? We the people. We the people. Who was the first president? Who was the first president? Washington, George Washington. Why does the flag have 50 stars? Why does the flag have 50 stars? Because there is 1 star for each state. Because each star represents a state. Because there are 50 states. What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? Two of these: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Where is the Statue of Liberty? Where is the Statue of Liberty? New York, Liberty Island. How many amendments does the Constitution have? How many amendments does the Constitution have? 27. 27. What is the supreme law of the land? What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. The Constitution. Name one branch or part of the government. Name one branch or part of the government. Congress, legislative, president, executive, the courts, judicial. Any one of those. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? Communism. Communism. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? Checks and balances, and the separation of powers. So either answer. What major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? What major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. What is an amendment? What is an amendment? It's a change to the Constitution or an addition to the Constitution. A change or an addition. We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? 6. 6. Senator 6. Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the military? Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the military? The President. Name your U.S. representative. Name your U.S. representative. Okay, so again, answers will vary here depending where you live. You need to go to house.gov and you can type in your address to find your specific representative. What did the Declaration of Independence do? What did the Declaration of Independence do? Any of these answers? Announced our independence. Declared our independence. Said that the United States is free from Great Britain. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Okay, any one of these? Cherokee, Navajo, Sioux, Chippewa, Choctaw, Pueblo, Apache, Iroquois, Creek, Blackfeet, Seminole, Cheyenne, Arawak, Shawnee, Mohegan, Huron, Oneida, Lakota, Crow, Teton, Hopi, Inuit. Why do some states have more representatives than other states? Why do some states have more representatives than other states? Because of the state's population, because they have more people, or because some states have more people. What are two ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? What are two ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? So choose two from here. Vote, join a political party, help with a campaign, join a civic group, join a community group, give an elected official your opinion on an issue, call senators and representatives, publicly support or oppose an issue or policy, run for office, write to a newspaper. What is the name of the President of the United States now? What is the name of the President of the United States now? Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump, or just Trump? What is freedom of religion? What is freedom of religion? You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. Who did the United States fight in World War II? Who did the United States fight in World War II? Japan, Germany, and Italy. Please name all three countries: Japan, Germany, and Italy. Who is the governor of your state now? Who is the governor of your state now? Again, answers will vary here. Please go to usa.gov/state-governor to find out who your governor is. What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? Michael R. Pence, Mike Pence, or just Pence. Who makes federal laws? Who makes federal laws? Congress, Senate and House, Legislature. Any of those answers. If both the President and the Vice President can no longer serve, who becomes President? If both the President and the Vice President can no longer serve, who becomes President? The Speaker of the House. When must all men register for the Selective Service? When must all men register for the Selective Service? At age 18, between 18 and 26. Who was president during World War I? Who was president during World War I? Wilson, Woodrow Wilson. Who signs bills to become laws? Who signs bills to become laws? The President. The President. Name one of the two longest rivers in the United States. Name one of the two longest rivers in the United States. The Missouri River or the Mississippi River. The Missouri or the Mississippi. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights. What does the President's Cabinet do? What does the President's Cabinet do? Advises the President. Advises the President. What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? To serve on a jury or to vote in a federal election. What is the highest court in the United States? What is the highest court in the United States? The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. War of 1812, Mexican-American War, the Civil War, or the Spanish-American War? Any of those. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? John Roberts. John Roberts. What does the Constitution do? What does the Constitution do? Sets up the government, defines the government, protects the basic rights of Americans. Any of those answers will be fine. Sets up the government, defines the government, or protects the basic rights of Americans. Who vetoes bills? Who vetoes bills? The President. What are the two major political parties in the United States? What are the two major political parties in the United States? Democratic and Republican. Democratic and Republican. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because there were 13 original colonies. Because there were 13 original colonies, or because the stripes represent the original colonies. In what month do we vote for president? In what month do we vote for president? November. November. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. Citizens 18 and older can vote. You don't have to pay to vote. Any citizen can vote. A male citizen of any race can vote. We elect a president for how many years? We elect a president for how many years? 4. Name one right only for United States citizens. Name one right only for United States citizens. Vote in a federal election. Run for federal office. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? World War II. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? July 4th, 1776. July 4th, 1776. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? Okay, any one of these? To print money, to declare war, to create an army, to make treaties. How old do citizens have to be to vote for president? How old do citizens have to be to vote for president? 18 and older. What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? The Pacific Ocean. Pacific. What is one reason colonists came to America? What is one reason colonists came to America? For freedom, for political liberty, religious freedom, economic opportunity, to practice their religion, or to escape persecution. What is the capital of the United States? What is the capital of the United States? Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. Why did the colonists fight the British? Why did the colonists fight the British? Because of high taxes. Because the British Army stayed in their houses. Because they didn't have self-government. Any of those. What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? He fought for civil rights. He worked for equality for all Americans. What did Susan B. Anthony do? What did Susan B. Anthony do? She fought for women's rights. or she fought for civil rights? There were 13 original states. Name 3. There were 13 original states. Name 3. New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Okay, just choose 3 from those. Name 2 national U.S. holidays. Name 2 national U.S. holidays. New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. When was the Constitution written? When was the Constitution written? 1787. 1787. Who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? Who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt. What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? The Atlantic. The Atlantic Ocean. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? He was a U.S. diplomat. He was the oldest member of the Constitutional Convention. He was the first Postmaster General of the United States. He was the writer of Poor Richard's Almanac. And he started the first free libraries. Name one U.S. territory. Name one U.S. territory. Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, Northern Mariana Islands, Guam. Who is in charge of the executive branch? Who is in charge of the executive branch? The President. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? The Louisiana Territory. Louisiana. What is the name of the national anthem? What is the name of the national anthem? The Star-Spangled Banner. The Star-Spangled Banner. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. the Civil War, or the war between the states? Name one state that borders Canada. Name one state that borders Canada. Any one of these? Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Washington, or Alaska? When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? April 15th. April 15th. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Any of these? Speech, religion, assembly, press, or petition the government. How many U.S. senators are there? How many U.S. senators are there? 100. 100. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. Slavery. Economic reasons. States' rights. Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? Again, answers will vary. Please go to senate.gov to find the names of your senators. Every state, remember, has 2 senators. Okay, except for the D.C. and the U.S. territories. If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? The vice president. What is the economic system in the United States? What is the economic system in the United States? It is a capitalist economy, or a market economy. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? It freed the slaves. It freed slaves in the Confederacy, freed slaves in the Confederate States, freed slaves in most southern states. Okay, any one of those answers. We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? 2. What are 2 cabinet-level positions? What are 2 cabinet-level positions? Okay, any 2 of these. Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary of Commerce, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Education, Secretary of Energy, Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary of Homeland Security, Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Secretary of the Interior, Secretary of Labor, Secretary of State, Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of Veterans Affairs, the Attorney General, and the Vice President. What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, freedom of worship, the right to bear arms. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? To provide schooling and education. To provide protection, like the police. To provide safety, like the fire departments. Give a driver's license. And to approve zoning and land use. How many justices are on the Supreme Court? How many justices are on the Supreme Court? 9. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? Africans, or people from Africa. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? The House of Representatives has how many voting members? 435. 435. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The United States and the flag. Last one. What is the political party of the president now? What is the political party of the president now? The Republicans, the Republican Party. Thank you very much. That concludes the 100 civics questions for the United States Citizenship Test. Let me know if you have any questions below, and I'll be happy to answer. Thanks, and good luck.